Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome to an editing video. If I can get this working right, it doesn't seem to want to work. This is supposed to be capturing. I'm on the wrong one. That's why. Hold on. There we go. Now we're capturing my screen, and you're seeing the whole thing. So yeah, there's my Red Dead Redemption 2 wallpaper. Yes, that's right. I captured that in Red Dead Redemption 2. We are gonna edit a video today. I kind of thought I would share that experience with you guys. I've never done this, like from start to finish, and actually, it's not quite start to finish. The footage is already recorded. This is for next week's Will It Off Road. The footage is already recorded. I've already created the timeline. The reason I've already done those two things is one of the things I have to do, since it's 4K footage, in order for me to be able to edit smoothly, and by smoothly I mean for it to actually play back for me instead of being just like a slideshow, I have to render the whole thing into out, and that pegs my CPU at like 100%. So I can't like sit here. Plus, it takes like an hour, so literally we would have just been sitting here just watching it render. So those are really the only two things I've done. But basically, when I get started, I have files in a folder. So I go to the media browser, I grab the whole lot of them, and then you just import, and that creates a project, drops them over here, and then I can drag those over the timeline, however I see fit, and then start the editing process. It's not terribly exciting, honestly, but I thought I'd kind of share it with you guys and talk you through what I do to edit a video. And then, of course, this will go live or go up on YouTube as well. So you guys know I've got my transition scenes and all that different stuff if you've seen my Will It Off-Road videos. So the main thing that I do to get started is look for where that really starts for me. And it looks like I started pretty early on this one. So you can probably safely just do playback here. And as soon as the car starts spinning, I look for that individual frame. Like, there, you can see the difference between those two frames right there. And then it's just a matter of jumping back to 1 full second, because that gives me all the time I need for all my transitions. And then zoom in so I can make sure I'm deleting just that. And then boom, we've shifted everything back all the way to the start of the timeline. And then from there, I need to come up here where the car actually starts moving. This can be tricky for some cars. Any car you can't really see the wheels really well, which you usually can't because of the shadow. You have to rely instead on when you start noticing, when I start noticing the ground moving here. Like there, it's moving. When does it actually start? Kind of there. I think that's more camera vibration from the engine revving. I think it's right. Yeah, I'd say that's where it really starts, is this frame right here. So that's where the timer will begin, is right there. And I make that mark so I can easily align the graphics to it later. And then we just kind of come up here. What was that? Oh, that was the time trial. And then we just come up here to right where it ends. And you guys are getting a sneak peek at the times that these little cars get and what the cars are and all that. Of course, by the time this is on YouTube, it won't be a sneak peek anymore. So there we go. I always go when either the brake lights turn off or the reverse lights turn on. Some cars don't have reverse lights. So I figured that is when in game it is wanting to say I'm no longer moving forward. I'm now either stopped or moving backwards. So that'll be the end of the timer, and then we just have that up for 5 seconds. So that'll be to 21:13, which I just went way too far because I didn't realize how far out I was zoomed. So 21:13. That's our 5 seconds. You can double check that by hovering the mouse over it. Boom, exactly 5 seconds. No big deal. Nobody wants to watch me edit a video in Adobe Premiere. Just checking to see if it shows what I'm doing in Discord. People are probably like, he's editing a video in Adobe Premiere? What? And then we go for the side shot. I usually just find the end of it. And then we just move back 10 seconds. So it'll be 53:20. Which is right there. And then that's all useless footage. And then the same thing, but in a little bit of a backwards order here. I look for where the car starts moving. By the way, you notice there's nobody up on the mountain. Well, that's because I did a solo Will It Off-Road. So, by the way, is it capturing my mic and everything properly? It is. I'm going to assume that it's capturing desktop audio, and I know those screens where you basically see into infinity are really frustrating. So, yeah, right there is where it really starts. So then I go back 5 seconds. This will be 45:20. And here's why I render the video out. I can play the video fairly smoothly in reverse. Had I not pre-rendered everything, I wouldn't be able to do that. Not especially because this is 4K footage. I know this video is not in 4K, and I know that this preview is not in 4K, but trust me, I am dealing with 4K footage. I can show you here. It is in this folder right here. So we go to this particular file that we're currently editing, go to details, 3840, 2160. That's 4K. And that's how we know it's recorded in 4K. So that has our controlled descent ready to go. We switch back to that, cut out that little bit, and boom, that transition is now all done. Just boom, boom, boom. Real simple, ready for me to just add the graphics. And of course, because I have the snap and timeline turned on, when we do finally add graphics to this, they'll just snap into place real nicely. The only one that doesn't is the little ascent and descent box, but that's because they start 20 frames before the actual counter appears, and I'll show you why they do that in a minute. So again, I just kind of scrub down until we get near the bottom, and then I watch for that same thing on the taillights. Every video series I edit is a little bit different. Will It Off-Road's one of the more labor intensive. That's why I chose these. Ones where I just record the voiceover and the video all at the same time. Not a big deal. So we are at 34:53. I want 5 seconds at the end of this. So we go to 39:53. And where did I come up with 5 seconds? Just from playing around with it, from 3 years of doing this video series, of, you know, knowing what makes the best time to give me time to actually do the transition and talk about it and all that. So that last little bit of footage, not needed. So we can now start on the next bit. What's up, Bizwack? I see you lurking. We were just talking about this last night, how much I love video editing, and I had a video to edit today, so I figured I would do it live. I'm not going to do the whole thing, because I record the voiceover after I edit the video. But it'll give you an idea of what it's like. Are those wheels moving on that frame? They are for sure on that frame. Yeah, there's where they're moving. And then again, 5 seconds. It's always just a 5-second transition, so I want to go back to 4111. And I can play that in reverse because I pre-rendered it out, because I have a beast of a computer. What did they say, 4111? I think so. That looks too long. Oh, that's exactly right. And then that gives me that little bit. Don't need it. Shift-Delete. When you're in Adobe, Shift-Delete just deletes what you have selected and shifts everything else over. I think it's called a rolling edit. I don't know. I don't know these things. I am, by no stretch of imagination, an expert with Adobe. So please don't take this as like, ooh, somebody's teaching us how to use Adobe. No, this is just an amateur and how I do it. Look at that bumper hanging off. This is going to be a little more challenging for the stops. I don't think I have tail lights. No, I still do. Okay. I don't have reverse lights, but I have tail lights. But the car keeps going. There it is. Okay, that's the actual end. There's the actual end right there. Sometimes I sit here for a second and wait, because every once in a while it'll jump like a frame back. I don't really know why. It hasn't done it so far. And then I need 5 seconds, so 35:30. is what we're going to go to right here. Which is, boom, look at that. I stopped at exact, boy. And then I just want to find my little shot where I show the damage off, which is right there. Get it right up to the edge of that where it starts moving. And just so you're not jumping into a scene where there's immediately motion, which can be weird and disorienting, I go back 1 second, so that'll be 5606. And cut there. Get rid of that little bit that I don't need. And then just find where it ends. I do the graphics last. I get all my edits in, and then I go back and put the graphics on top of it. So if you're wondering where all my overlays and everything are, if you've ever watched the series, that's why they're not in yet. All right, so to 4553. Oh, overshot it. And then that'll bring us to the next one, which is already in the timeline. So that is one whole car done, half the video. As far as the rough edits in, that doesn't give me the graphics. It's none of the audio, nothing like that. The audio is an entirely different thing. I can't really show you that right now, but basically what I do once I have my voiceover in, to make sure the game the game audio never gets louder than me, I'll assign my dialogue, the dialogue thing, and I have a YouTube preset that I use. Just it makes my voice sound better. My settings may not make your voice sound better. And then what I can do once I have that in place is I can go in and music just works the best, even though these aren't music. And I can do ducking. I turn off loudness. And then essentially I look for what the audio gain is. Like its level on this one, like that's 12.7. 14.5 below where I am seems to be a good amount. That way if there's an explosion or something loud, it seems to be okay. So basically I just take 14.5 minus 12.7, which is 1.8. And I would tell it to duck by that much. And then generate keyframes. It'll analyze my audio from my voice and automatically make keyframes. But since I don't have that in yet, I can't really show you how that works. It takes it a few minutes. For like the whole 20-minute video, probably takes it 10 minutes to analyze everything. But it makes it so much easier than the way I used to do it. And it makes it a much better sounding video as well. Alright, so there's where we start. A little spin around shot. Right there. Where does it actually start moving? Right there on that frame. So we go back 1 second to 50:03. I went too far because I turned to look at chat. Always blame chat for your mistakes. Best practice. There we go. And then we just get past the little spinning around shot, get up here to where the car actually starts driving. I went too far. There it is. So I like cars with big, beefy tires like this because it makes it really easy because I can see the exact moment they really start turning. Because that little puff of smoke comes out right there. I don't know how well you can see that on the live stream, but that's exactly the start of it right there. So that's our cut for the timer that'll appear, and then we just go. Whoa, that one got up there really fast. Too close to the end, it struggled at the end. I remember that much. Listen to it, just bounce it off the road loader, and then I hit the thing. Up and over the rock, and up. So again, looking for that thing. That tells me the car stopped moving forward. I give it a second just to make sure it's not gonna jump a frame, because it will jump a frame. And then 5 seconds, so 20:03. Oh, too far. And then, again, it's just a repeat of what we did on the last car. Find that still shot where it ends, which is right there-ish. I always record way too much, so I don't have to get this exact. So I'm going to go back to 14:41, because that's a 10-second shot. Which is right there. And I can get rid of this. And if you're wondering how I'm switching back and forth between all of these without clicking on them, it's just C and V. That puts it into cut mode. V puts it back into regular selection tool mode. I don't know all the shortcuts for all the other ones because I don't use them that much. Every once in a while, I'll use the rate stretch tool, which apparently is just R. Now I know. But it is good to know because I do use that quite a bit. I've never bothered to look. But it's not often that I do it. Like at the end of my Planet Coaster videos where I have like the sped up footage, I do rate stretch on that. And sometimes the clip won't line up and I'll just kind of bump it over. You don't even notice it happens. Alright, so where does this car actually start driving? Right about there. So go back to where that starts. Oh, that's handy. We've got this little thing here. This is intriguing, seeing how I actually edited the Will It Off-Road video. I thought it'd be kind of something different to do. I mean, the lined up is a YouTube archive. Not the most exciting video, but it's something different. And I was editing anyway, and I'm like, you know what? Let's live stream it. Why not? So I need to go back 5 seconds to 44:38. All right, man. So, oh, God, I didn't give myself good footage here, though. Why did I do that? I hate it when I forget to... Is that really where I start? Did I really screw that up? I sure did. Because normally I sit there and once I've got the camera aligned, I stop and count in my head the 5 seconds to make sure I have it, but I didn't do it there. I hate it when I do that because that's just a nasty transition. Because see, here's what you're gonna see now between the two transitions is you'll see what I was talking about. Why I put the extra second at the beginning before I do the spin shot, like. Having that motion, it's just like, wait, what's happening? You know, it's just, I don't know. In my opinion, it's just a little bit, it's rough. It's not as good as it could be. Oh, well. I can't change the footage, and I'm not about to record it. And get this car where it stopped. Oh, this thing has shit brakes. Look how far out on the highway it went. There we go. Make sure it doesn't jump back. It did not. And then 5 seconds. Oh, it did, didn't it? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, we're good. And so to 31:23 for the 5 seconds. And then once we get the last little bit edited, I'll start showing you how I do the actual graphics over everything. Where was it? This is the one. Yeah, I forgot to link together my audio and video. I actually do 2 separate files, like... These files have the audio and video in them as recorded by Bandicam. But then I also have Bandicam record a separate WAV file of it as well. Because it gives a better quality to be able to have it come from the WAV file than just the embedded MP3 sound or MP4 sound. So that's why I do it that way. So this one's going to start here in just a second. Thought it looked like it was moving. There's it's moving. Can't quite see the tires. It's just not big enough. Like on the screen. Like I can make this bigger. But it's still, I don't think, enough to really tell what's up. Oh wait, there we go. I see a little bit of smoke. That's our start. So go back 5 seconds to 45:35. And if you're wondering, do I enjoy this process? Yes, immensely. Some days I'm just not in the mood to do it, just because it takes a while, and I don't know, my concentration's just not there. But usually I really enjoy editing videos. That thing's already got a busted out window. Must have had issues driving up or down at one point. I don't know. Got a lot of blood on it too. Some hikers went down with this one. So we look for our end here. I don't know why this is so long. Like, why is this 6 minutes long if I'm down this fast? I don't know, maybe I walked over or something. Just thud. And snap the door off. That's my favorite part of doing these videos, is just abusing the car going down the mountain. Oh, see, there you go. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it jumped a frame. It was on this frame, and then it, without me doing anything, it just jumped back. Sometimes it does that. I don't know what causes that. So you gotta watch for it if you're wanting to get something precise like that. So 1802 will take me to 2302. Oh, I thought I had it. Thought I had it exact. And then we just look for the little spin around shot. There it is. So where does that start? Right there. Exactly that frame. So we go back 1 second to 36:43. And get rid of all this extra bit. And then I leave my tail footage out here on the last car. I call it tail footage. I don't know what else to really call it. Simply because once this gets done spinning around, if I had any other people in the video with me, this is where I would put screenshots of the damage to their cars. And then it would jump back to my car. And this gives me enough time to do my outro and everything. So I always record I don't know, I sit here for like a minute. Apparently this one I sit here like 3 minutes. So this video will not be 20 minutes long. When it's all said and done, it will be shorter than that. Get those two the same length. So now that we've got all the rough edits in, now it's time to go back in and add the graphics. And the cool thing is, I've done enough of these that I have a lot of presets already set up. So my blur that I do is just an Adobe preset. I don't like when videos just suddenly start with audio, so I always let them exponentially fade in. Here it kind of fades up like that, and it makes a nice thing. And then that exponential fade also gives me a good place when I come up here to the graphics menu. I have, I want just my library. There we go. Actually, I want just my favorites. There we are. Vehicle intro is my animated vehicle intro. And this is where it starts getting choppy because this isn't pre-rendered anymore since I'm adding my own graphics in. So it's not going to play as smooth as it did. I could sit here and re-render every single time I add a graphic, but then I have to sit here and wait for it to render that. My CPU usage just jumped to 100%, so I have no idea, how it's even impacting the live stream at this point. Plus it's just for the graphics. I've already seen that the video is edited where it needs to be. I don't need to do it again, but I'll let this one finish out since I've already done it. There, and it's done. And then for some reason it auto plays. I don't really know why. And so now, instead of it being, and I know that's not a Dominator, I have to fix it. Instead of it being all rough like it was just a second ago, it's nice and smooth because it's using an actual video preview that it created. What is this car called? The Gradi Brioso RA. Is that right? Yeah. Is it got the slash in it like that? Let's find out. Pretty sure it has a slash in it like that. It does have the slash in it like that. Okay. GTA Wiki. That's where I go to get all my information. And of course, since I changed that, now it's no longer pre-rendered anymore. You make one change, boom, you lose your pre-rendered graphics. So it kind of sucks. So I go back to browse, throw in my vote link, and the vote link always gets cut short because of this right here. So my intro, or not the intro, but the, where is it? Did I not favorite? Damage, updated, vehicle intro. I must have not favorited the new Ascents that I made. Why is that saying the... I've been having this issue with fonts. Where is my... Okay, there it is. See, it says that there's an error with the font. Anyways, so what I have to do here, I know that it goes back 20 frames, so that would be 58. Right there. So that's where I want the voting graphic to go away and the Ascent graphic to begin. But again, it's giving me an error here telling me that there's a frame. or an issue with the font. I have fixed this I don't know how many times and even saved it I don't know how many times, and it just keeps going back no matter what I do to the wrong font. Um, I don't quite know what's going on in Adobe land, but so there's why I do the 20 frames is because that zooms in and out, and then the counter will actually start here, the timer. And the timer's easy. The timer is literally its own transparent video, so you can see through it, but it'll allow video to be over it. And then I bump the ascent all the way out to the end. I drag that transparent video to that same mark. That's the end of our run. And then up under the effects panel, no, here. I have a thing called bullet off code timecode preset. So I drag that on and boom, it's already pre-formatted and everything ready to go. I don't have to do anything else to make that happen. And again, that just comes from months of doing this where I actually every week rebuilt all this stuff from scratch and then finally realized, oh yeah, there's templates in this program. Way to go, genius. And then to get the little overlay where it has like the frozen time, I just kind of cheat. I don't know a better way to do this, so I just get rid of the video real quick, and then I take a screenshot that this is not the Astro Boom thing. This is Will It Off-Road. So ASB just means Ascent Brioso, and then that is now right here. So I put that right here. And then drag it down to that 5 seconds. And then I'm just going to stay in this for just a moment. I want Will It Off-Road, yes. Come on. There we go. Will It Off-Road, yes. For some reason, I have the little ding for these in a completely different hard drive. Just never remembered to copy it over. And I've already got it keyed to know exactly where the ding needs to go for that cut right there. So I don't really have to do anything else. And then that whole section is now done. It'll pop up with the animated Will It Off-Road. And then it'll go ding, which will be really loud. I warn you. There you go. So this little bit, hold on. This little bit right here is this image. It is literally just this whole frame, but without that. So it just makes a transparent PNG that I can use, which is handy. Very, very handy. So even it allows the motion and everything back behind there to still continue. So it works. So then the same thing for these. For the control descent on these videos, I go back 20 frames, so it'll be 53. Find my control descent, and I'll have to manually change the font on every one of these again. So it's really starting to get on my nerves. Like, I have fixed this I don't know how many times. Because see, there it is. Like, if I click it, it's the right font again. It's like on the right font, but it's not. There's some weird thing with this font that it's just not happy for some reason. And then I can use the same transparent video over and over again. Because it doesn't have that time code put on it down here. It only has it put on it up here in the timeline. So I can just keep reusing that same one. So again, get it right to where it ends. Get this right to where it ends. And then go out here. Throw the time code on it. And then go back 1 frame. Shut that down. This is Descent 1 in the Brioso, so D1B. Whoops, as I knock my vape over. And then I grab that from up here. Drop that in. And I think I moved it too far. No, it's lined up okay. Is that all lined up right? Yeah, it's all lined up right. And then make that 5 seconds long. And then the next bit is the damage descent. So again, same thing. Wait, so 33. These all have a 20 frame lead-in time. Every one of them. So that goes there. I grab the transparent video again. You know what? Let's make this a little easier on ourselves. There we go. Put that there. And then that's always way too long. I don't know why it's so long on there, but it's always way too long. Drop the time code on. See, this is where if you do any editing, taking the time to set yourself up templates on videos that you know are going to have something in common with each other is worth it. And there you can see, because it's on the wrong font, how it's all out there. So I have to change it to the right font and it will be better. I don't know. It's still the same font. It's just like its spacing is different or something. I don't know. It's really weird. So do that. That was the second descent in the Brioso. So D2B. Where did I come up with that? I don't know. It just makes sense in my head. What's really funny is, when you get a car that's like Ascent and so you wind up with like ass, makes me giggle every time because I'm 15. So that is that car down. Then we just have to do the damage, which, Jesus, this thing took a beating. What I need to do, though, is go back a little bit and listen to see if it has an engine rattle. You can see, since it isn't pre-rendered anymore, how long it takes to update because it's in 4K. So I don't care that the video's not going to play. I'm just listening to hear if there's an engine rattle or not. And it doesn't sound like it. And now you can see this is what my editing would be like if I did not do that pre-render before I start editing altogether. It would just be this back, because it's trying to create a 4K video all at once. Just look how far behind it really is. Like, boom, that's where the video really was playing. It's kind of a nightmare. But the MP4 codec doesn't really work. Okay, so the front bumper and the hood. The rear bumper's messed up too. I gotta remember that. I often forget that when I do this. And then, of course, like everything, I just have a little template. And that's a matter of going in here and... Come on. Oh, yeah, how many windows are busted out? Let's undo that. Come on, go away. Thank you. What would you say? Most of the windows? Come on, why are you not playing now? You have it. There you go. You just took it a second. I'd say most windows. I think that's a good description of that. You can't redo? You're not going to redo it for me? Okay, thank you. So most windows and the headlights. Wait, are the headlights out? No, they weren't. Most windows, front bumper, hood, right door, rear bumper damaged. Damager. Left door won't close. And what else? Does it have bent wheels? Come on, give me a frame where I can see the car straight on. Yes, bent wheels. So there we go. That's that car done. Completely done that quick. I've been doing this, what now? How long have I been streaming? Half hour? Half the video is done. And then once this is all done, I render out the video. Like, I actually go up and I export it as its own video. I just do like some really low bitrate because this is just for me to have a video to watch while I do my voiceover, kind of narrate what's happening. I'm not going to do that right now because it would take too long. And again, it hits my processor and video card, which are the things that are currently running this live stream. So I want that to go out to that transition right there because that will duck down on its own, just kind of disappear. Actually, I don't want it to go there because what I want to do is I just use default Adobe cross zoom between the two. So I want that lined up with where the cross zoom begins. One thing I did forget, though, is in order to keep transition between different scenes, like up here where, you know, it plays for 5 seconds, but then boom, we're at a different scene. That could make like a pop or just a noticeable change in audio. If you just grab this little constant power guy and put him at the in between the clips that are different, it will make a big difference. I don't have to do it here because this is all one video anyhow. Even though I've got a cut there, it's not going to do anything on the audio. But now listen when it plays. You won't be able to see anything, but listen. The two just kind of smoothly mix together without any noticeable abrupt cut, and I think it just sounds better that way. And the same thing here. So even though it's different sound effects and everything happening in the game, because of the way you mix them together like that, it just sounds so much better. So that same thing is going to happen here, where it's now at the top of the mountain. So we throw that in, and I've just, you know, again, it's some because I've done so many of these, I've just learned where they all are. And then the same thing here, even though it's at the bottom, there was footage that we cut out between these two sections. And then we went the same thing here because we're actually switching cars. And it just makes it sound a little better, in my opinion. So now I need the vehicle intro. What is this car called? What is this car called? This is the Viserys? Lampadati Viserys? Yeah. Oh, man. How do you spell Viserys? I know how to spell Lampadati. It's Lamp A Daddy. Or Daddy. Daddy. Viserys. Viseris. Yes, that is right. Viseris. There we go. So that gets that done. And then you want to go back out of text editing mode because you will hate your life if you don't. Mainly because it thinks you're constantly trying to edit text. Wow, that one actually... Why did I take so long on this car to do everything? And then screwed up my shot. It's because there was nobody there with me, I think. And it messed up my rhythm. I'm so used to, like, having this mental checklist. Wow, look at that. I could not have timed that more perfectly if I tried. It's literally right there where it needs to be. I'm so proud of myself doing things totally by accident. I don't think there's a gap there at all. Not at all. That's cool. Excuse me. So run that out to there. You'll get the transparent video. Drop it right there. Drag it down to there. Sometimes you gotta be careful. Make sure it didn't go to here and then it actually went to the cut line. With the snap and timeline, sometimes I want to snap where the playhead is versus where the cut is. But with having the cut and an edit right there, that kind of helps it. So, and now we just repeat for this car. We remember that we have to change the font. I did change the font in the very first one, didn't I? God, I hope so. Yeah. And then I do it on that one. Yep. Did I do it on that one? Yeah. So there we go. Okay, so now throw in the pre-code timecode preset. And then jump here and then just jump to the next edit. That'll get me there quickly. And then go back a frame. Turn that off. So this is Ascent Viserys. And then I just go grab that from here. And then it's going to look exactly like it did on the last car. I grabbed the Will It Off-Road yes thing because that's the yes. And now I don't have to go get that ding from the other hard drive because it's right here in the project. Because I added it to the project automatically. So that's Will It Off-Road yes, ding, done. And then I want to go in here, back down to my audio, drop in that constant power there, because that's where the scene switches, and the scene switches, whoop, not there, there. If you do make a mistake with your edit point and you just don't want to undo it and re-drop it, you can change it. So you can change it to the start of the cut, the end of the cut, center of the cut. I've never really found that it makes much of a difference. Like if I put it at the end of the cut, it would make sure that I had all the sound from this one priority for that half second that it's in there. That's the only difference I can really tell that it does in anything. Let's turn all that back on, get a save, because I don't know when the last time it was it saved, and I'm paranoid. So back 20, which would be 43. And then this is the controlled descent, which is where? Still annoyed that it's failing to update these templates. Like, I even made brand new ones and deleted the old ones and saved them. It's something about this font that doesn't work right. But I've got everything built around this font. And I don't want to change the looks of the video. I think it's important to keep a consistent look. Just put that there. Drag that there. And this is why people hate editing, because it gets really repetitive really quick. But I don't mind it. I really don't mind it at all. So this is the first descent for this car. That is going to be here. And no, I haven't always been this quick. Well, it used to take me like 5 hours to edit just one video, because I hadn't found all the shortcuts and things to make my life simpler. And then we have an audio jump right here, I believe. Should be right there. Yeah, that's the top. So then over to this edit. Oh, that one makes it easy. 2, 3. And then put in the damage descent graphic. Go to the project, grab the transparent video, drop that in right there. And done. That's the last one of those. Oh, I'll have to do, but first I have to change the font. And I always get paranoid when I realize I've forgotten, so I make sure I did it on the previous one. I know I did it on the Ascent. I remember doing it. But I couldn't remember doing it on that one. I've gotten so used to doing it. By the way, this is what it looks like before I put the time code in. You drop the time code in, and boom, there it is. And of course, it only goes up to 60 on the timer. Like these guys here, of course, it's not going to animate very well. That should have dropped me down to like 13 once it updates, so I guess I did it 4 times. Yeah, it's not going to animate because it's not pre-rendered anymore. That's because of the limits of Adobe with a time code. There is a way to, in After Effects, to create a clock that goes all the way up to 0.99, the way a 1/10 of a second counter should do. But I have yet to master that skill. I've tried it, and it just doesn't work right for me all the time, to where I can just drag and drop it as reliably as I can this one, so I don't use it yet. I'll eventually figure it out. But something I'm doing is still wrong, and it messes with the time. Like, 1 second's not really 1 second the way I've got it going right now. Somehow dragging it back and forth messes it up. So that's that one done. Turn this back on. I need to go back here just to hear if this thing has an engine rattle or not. I don't think it does. It does not. So we go here. Wow, does this thing even lose a body part? Like, its headlights are gone. That was the quickest spin I've ever seen. I don't think I was actually doing a spin right there. No, I was. The headlights are busted, but they're still there. Most of the lights are gone. Oh, a right door and a window. That's it. One window and the door. Rockstar's so lazy. And bent wheels. And that's it. Alright, well, okay. So we bring this up here. Go to the text editing. So we've got, whoops, not what I meant to do. I added an extra one by clicking somehow. So we've got, it says, I don't know what I was trying to type there. One window, right door, bent wheels. That is all that's wrong with this car. Oh wait, headlights We're going to change that to most lights. Because the right half of the taillights are out too, right? Oh, you were doing so well, and then you decided to say fuck off. Yeah. So normally I would have 1 second at the end of this, and then boom, have the screenshots of the other people's vehicles that did Will It Off-Road with me. But since I was solo this week, you know, I don't have those. And then if this was a Will It Off-Road or the Vainglorious supporters video, I actually edited it completely differently. This is how I edit the Will It Off-Road for public consumption. So it'll wind up being only, I mean, like this ends at 17. This will be like an 18-minute video. Like I've got an extra 2 minutes and some odd of footage that I probably won't even use unless I come up with something that I need to talk about. But that's it. That's the video edited. We can't really play it back because, again, it's just going to be a slideshow because it's trying to do all the graphics and animate it on top of the video. So you can see it's already struggling. We can take a look at what type of resources that's using. You know, my CPU, God, that's probably killing the live stream right now. CPU is pegged at 100%. It's pulling 20% duty from my freaking GPU. You know, so it's just kind of all over the place. Because it's just really intensive. Even though I do have it set to use the video card to accelerate everything, it still winds up with a little bit of problem. So this has been a short live stream and a long YouTube video, depending on where you're watching it. But I hope you kind of enjoyed looking at my editing process. If you guys are actually out there in chat paying attention, if you have any questions, anything you'd like me to take another look at, anything like that, let me know right now, real fast. Otherwise, I'm going to end this in like 60 seconds because I'm done. I edited the video. Oh, one thing I do is I don't have to do anything special to these dings, but they are really loud. Like really loud. Oh, I need to go back to editing so I can have that. There we go. So I just go into Audio Track Mixer. I know that they are on track 2, so I just drop track 2 by 10 decibels. And that way they're just there. And then, so like I said, I'll render this out in just like a 720p crap resolution. And then I have that video. I literally just open it up in like VLC and watch it while I record the voiceover in Adobe Audition. Because I've got presets for this as well that lets me get my voice sounding just right. And then I will drag that in here. And then the cool thing about the Will It Off-Road videos that makes these so easy to sync up is since I'm wearing a headset and I'm sitting really close to the microphone, I can hear the ding from my headset when this goes ding here coming through my voiceover that I record in Audition, and I just have to line those two up. Done. Video aligned. It makes it so much easier. Everything else to get it to sync is a little bit more involved. Not by a lot, but it does get more involved. But then I'll just add that voiceover track to there, or to the video. Then render it out in my 4K preset that I have, which a 20-minute video takes like an hour. If you want to look at my settings, I'm sure somebody out there that knows more about Adobe probably has seen all kinds of things I'm doing wrong. But this is based off of what YouTube recommends, 53 to 85 for your bit rate. I do 2-pass because it just gives a better quality video. Yeah, this is all just YouTube recommended settings, so I go with YouTube recommended settings for a 4K video. And sometimes I even use those for 1080p if it has a really high bitrate source. You'll still just do it in 1080p. It won't upscale it to 4K. But so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and go play some GTA and then render this out after I'm done with my daily objectives. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.